What's going on, everyone? Shots with Cola here. And today we are taking a look at the S Pro brace by Recover Tactical. Now in this is the Glock 17 Gen 4, but that is not what we're going to the range with. We put the 19X in here. I went with the intention of testing out an FRT. I've been waiting for the brace to come in, so that had a little bit something to stabilize the FRT. Yeah, things didn't go so hot. So I'm gonna go ahead and run the footage, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about the brace. Got y'all on my phone. We're here at Springs Road Gun Club, so this is where I go when I want to test stuff out that most ranges won't let me. Of course, you gotta act like you got some sense, but this is the place to be. This is where dreams become reality. And I appreciate the guys over here at Springs Road Gun Club. Thank you, Jack. And I'm excited for the opportunity to get to interview you on the channel as well. So we are here with the Recover Tactical S Pro brace. And it's very loud in here, so we're not gonna do a whole lot of talking. We're gonna test this FRT out, and we're gonna make sure the FRT runs good and go from there. Got a short mag for now. Well, we've already had a failure. No good. We're already having issue cycling. So what I have done is pulled the FRT out. We're gonna load two up and see if the FRT is causing the issue or what's going on. Okay, so the FRT is definitely the issue. Well, guys, we're gonna pop the FRT out, and then we're just gonna run the brace and see how the brace does. So we're leaving the FRT out. This is, I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on. So this video is taking a different direction. We are going to focus on the brace. I have two 29+2 airsoft magazines, and we're gonna see how the brace does. Well, we might have one 29+2 airsoft magazine. Oh. You gotta flip it all the way. You gotta Interesting. It slows it down, but interesting. So let's find out if we're zeroed, and then we'll kind of do some rapid fire with this this piece here. Let's bring it back. We are hitting to the right. So this does not zero this way. So we're gonna drop the whole 30 in the center mass. Definitely getting some debris. Let's see where all that hit. We're gonna do a little mag change and then dump it on the head. We're gonna have to come back and figure out what's going on with that FRT. We're at 20 yards. That's wild that that's what I have to do to release that. That can't be right, right? That's how it is. That's weird. I don't know how I feel about that. All right, headshots at 20 yards. I feel that debris all over my face. How many hit the head? How high was I hitting?
Comps don't even do that.
No.
That's awful.
It's because of that kit.
Golly.
It's because it's not just a chunk port. There's side ones, but because it's in that rail, it's kicking it all back.
I would lose that.
Well, once the suppressor comes in.
Right.
Because the FRT is not staying. I mean, that was for a video, but I care more about being able to try to shoot it accurately. And that optics going too. Like, that was just
This one here.
probably both. I'll probably end up getting something more designed for it.
I'd put this one on there.
Well, we got her a little dirty. Let's go ahead and it's having some feeding issues with this trigger. It is not like the trigger. Yeah. Let's take it to the house. Let's talk about it. Let's see how what my thoughts are and where we're at with this. All right, so with the brace did great. No complaints with the brace whatsoever. The brace did absolutely great. Well, I do have a couple things. They're not really complaints, but they're things that you have to get used to, okay? So the brace itself did great. I was a little worried because I watched on Classic Firearms. They said that this guy, being that this is polymer, that it flexes, which it does, but it takes a lot of force. They made it out to be like it just bends like crazy. You have to try to bend it to really get a serious bend. Now, when you pull it tight, it does flex. So I'm not gonna lie about that, it does. But when you're just, you know, we're talking 9mm here. So we're not talking about I'm having to hold it down. It's an FRT of 300 blackout. We're talking 9mm. It is manageable. It absolutely is manageable. It's fine. It's not a big deal. The flex on it, like I said, I was worried that I wasn't even gonna like this brace because Classic Firearms had brought that up. I think their biggest issue, the reason they had a bad experience, was because they didn't have this little razor here. That changes the whole game because you got your cheek rest with this raised. It puts you in. I mean, obviously, right now this isn't the right setup because I don't have it extended out, but this is a perfect experience right here as far as where the dot is versus where your eye is versus where your cheek is and how it fits in. Now, I have some concerns whether this is actually going to be considered a valid brace. There is a spot for a strap. They don't supply a strap. And I could see them giving you some fuss about that if you were to get, like, say for some reason they pulled you over or something, because you have this here. And it kind of reminds me of the situation like this. This is a blade brace, and then there's a 3D printed thing that you can get for the back. And this immediately makes this become a felony if I was running this on a pistol. And I feel like that's something similar that I have going on here. I feel like it would be hit or miss depending on who it was I was dealing with, how the reaction would be. As far as supporting it and everything, phenomenal. I'm not going to, like, the accuracy and stuff was very good. We haven't done our accuracy test yet. We will be doing that. I wanted to kind of get an idea of everything, and my goal was to test out the FRT. Now, with the Glock 19X, you can see here, the FRT is not in it anymore. I'm thinking what we're going to be doing is we're going to do performance or Timney trigger in that. We're going to put the FRT in here and test out the FRT with this because you get to utilize the charging handle that they supply and everything with this Glock Gen 4 because it's not an MOS, it's not optics ready, any of that stuff. So this kind of lets you get to use it in the way that they felt it was supposed to be. One thing that I'm not a huge fan of, and that is, so I love the design of a front mag angled foregrip, right? Now, there's like this little button here that you press, and that is supposed to be released. However, when you press that, it doesn't just drop it. You have to rip it out, which isn't a terrible thing. It just means you need to get used to it. And also, it's kind of like on a hinge system here, and I'm just trying to show this here without flagging myself. So it's kind of like a hinge system here, but you end up like flipping it over this edge, and it's a lot, right? It's a lot, but it feels like it's breaking in. When you first use it, man, that mag was in it. It was in it. Yeah, altogether though, definitely usable. It's just got some break-in. So there's quirks to it. You've got to get used to it. You've got to, especially if you intend to use something like this for self-defense, which I'm on the fence right now whether this would even be viable. You need to train with it. You need to get used to its quirks. You need to know exactly how to overcome them and do it quickly. And if you can't, do not consider this, a nightstand gun or anything like that. I got the one that has the optional Picatinny rail here, but I did run into, I don't have it sitting up here. The spacing is the same Picatinny that's up here. It's wider than the M-Lock grips where it's supposed to, like, I'm not understanding. I'm just not understanding exactly how that's supposed to work. I guess I got to figure that out. But the rail that's supposed to go there, the M-Locks are further apart than where these land here. And I feel like they maybe just sent me the wrong one, but I'm kind of like, I ended up having to pay for that and it's not usable. So I'm kind of a little curious about that. Other than for that though, I mean, this thing's dope. This is very solid structure here. So this little thin bar, I was worried that this would warp and stuff. This is very solid. This is very solid. And I had the O-Light on here. I switched over to the Feyachi because honestly, the Feyachi it matches it. It matches. And so, I've got to decide what we're doing here. This was for the 19X, and it probably still is going to be. Again, we're going to throw the FRT in the Gen 4 17, but I think this is still for the 19X, and I just got to decide what we're going to do. I think I want a smaller light here. I think I'm going to go with a FDE O-Light PL Mini 2 maybe, or, another option. So that's all just dependent on that as what ends up there. But the Feyachi definitely matches it. So, I mean, actually, they're almost to a T the same colors. That is kind of cool. If you watched my previous video of how much till it breaks, these things are actually extremely durable. It took me hitting it with my purse to be able to break it. So, watch that video if you haven't already. It's actually a pretty cool video. I enjoyed it. I had a blast filming it. But yes, this is kind of our first introduction to the brace. We're going to do an accuracy test. We're going to go all through the whole thing. This is, once we got the FRT running, this is the setup, right here. Dang, I can't remember the brand of these, but same brand that we did with the 43X CAA MCK brace. We're doing it with the big boys. So definitely you got your capacity here, your 29 plus 2. So altogether, you're getting quite a bit of ammunition, quite a bit of airsoft bullets to run on this thing. A ton of blowback with the compensator on this guy. My buddy that owns Springs Road Gun Club, he shot it. It's a lot of blowback. I mean, it covered. By the time at the end of this, I took a photo of the optics that were on here. They were covered in residue. So it's an insane amount of blowback with the compensator. Luckily, got a suppressor on the way. So this puppy will be running suppressed. And this is going to get form forward. I think that's the right form. We're going to go ahead and just SBR it because you know what? They waived the fee at the moment. If there's a database, I'm probably already on it. It is what it is. I mean, we are from the Q Erector 22 suppressors. It's whatever. So we're probably gonna form for this, and this will just be, it'll be what it be, right? Whatever I form for it to, that's the pistol that's gonna live in there, because I'm pretty sure you form for the pistol, not the brace itself. So that's kind of the thing. That is it is what it is. What do you guys think? What do you think of the Recover Tactical S Pro? I actually think it's really cool. I really like the design. It's gonna take some training, some getting used to deploying it, getting used to all the things with it. Like I said, I plan on form foring it, but I don't think I'm going to swap this to traditional stock. I'm gonna form for it to protect myself from using what's already here, because I feel like in the wrong situation, that's gonna be an issue. And I don't mind the way it looks. I think it's a cool design. The cheek rest thing, all of that is a perfect design for me. We went all out. So I got pretty much every option that was available. They were going to send me a holster when I reached out to them, and the holster didn't come in. So I don't know if they just didn't send it. I don't really intend to run it holstered. As far as I'm aware, you can't run it holstered because the holster goes where this thing attaches. And I'm not willing to lose this just to holster this when I'm in a field doing, like, field shooting. We can throw it in a backpack. We can probably find a single point sling. Shoot, I could probably just do that right there. I don't know. That's a tingle point. That's a lot. That's a lot. But yeah, I think the thing's pretty cool. We're gonna have to do a lot more testing to really lock in an opinion with it. I like it. Not bad. Not bad, Recover Tactical. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would, hit it with a like, subscribe to the channel. Next time we go to the range, it's going to be purpose-driven. So we're going to test range. We're going to put the 19X back in here. We're going to take shots. We're going to do the same test we ran with the 19X, completely OEM, with a few upgrades, and then now with the brace, and we're going to see how does accuracy change when you rock a brace. Does it improve your shooting running a pistol? It's a pretty clear answer, but there's a trade-off, right? I appreciate you guys watching. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.